My childhood wasn't typical. I was born into the gemstone business, turquoise mining to be specific. We go back 5 generations, the Kennedys of turquoise, if you will. From mining to cutting to marketing the stone, we do it all. So now I travel the world, dropping in on friends, hunting the most exotic of gemstones. Hey! We usually get ourselves in some pretty ridiculous situations. But we wouldn't have it any other way.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Matthew Fouts and I'm here with my esteemed colleague Andrea Salazar.
Hey guys.
We are on our road trip to Clifton, Morenci. We're gonna go see one of the biggest copper producing mines that Arizona has ever seen. They're not really functional anymore, but actually out of this mine came some of the most incredible azurite and malachite the industry has ever seen. It was fantastic material. It was the standard for what azurite should look like, really.
Which is a deep navy blue.
Yeah, it's almost like a lapis blue, but actually it's got more rich, a much more rich, vibrant color to it.
Right, it's like good lapis.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, if you had that just crayon navy blue color, it sings.
Why are we so into azurite right now? Because we're always into it.
Yeah, but we've added it to the collection in a big way. So we came across some material that, because this mine's been closed for so long, it's really difficult to get Arizona azurite.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets.
There are parts of my job that I absolutely love. There are parts of my job that I don't love as much. The one that I absolutely can't stand is that I usually have to come face to face with bats, and I have a terribly irrational fear of them.
When I get there, I'll let my feet roll.
I need to go over to the cave entrance of the smelter here, and as I approached it, I noticed that there were dozens of bats hanging from the ceiling of the cave.
Let me know when I get closer.
So I'm here at the Morenci smelter. This was built in 1874. And what a smelter is it's a giant furnace, essentially. And what they do is they flash heat the copper ore, and it separates the copper from it. Okay, and if you can see around me here, they've just tunneled directly into the mountain. So they've just got a cave going way back in, and they built this entire smelter. This whole complex is built inside the mountain. One of the reasons why they built it actually in the mountain here is that the heat is just incredible. And to be able to contain it, they've got to actually tunnel into the mountain and build the complex all within the confines of the mountain itself. Local legend has it that the smoke from this was so bad and it was disturbing the town that they built this vertical chimney, actually tunneled down from the top of the mountain into the smelter so that the smoke all went out through the top of the mountain. Now, when tourists or out-of-towners would come through and they'd see smoke coming out of the top of the mountain and get concerned, the locals would say, don't worry, that's just our local volcano. A little bit of mining humor for you. But anyway, this is where all of the extraction of the copper from the ore happened, and this was a vital part of the mining operation. They built a railroad through the town, it's right behind me, and it went from the mine site to this spot just to bring all of the ore in, and then later on they built a road. But originally, in the early 1900s, they just had this railroad come through that brought all of the ore in, and then they would use the smelter here to separate the copper out of it. So this bad boy, aside from being home to hundreds of terrifying bats, it was a vital part of the mining operation itself. From my industry and the jewelry industry is regarded as the best azurite in the world that
I know.
the industry's ever seen.
When I first came here, and that was in '78, they had an ore crusher in the mine, and there would be a conveyor belt hauling the ore to the mill
Yeah.
to be crushed finer. And some company, jewelry or whatever, had a guy standing there to grab turquoise or whatever. And I guess in the early days, especially when they first started, there was a lot of turquoise come out of here.
Right.
Occasionally, they find some nowadays, but I understand that's a mineral that's usually find closer to the surface.
Yeah. Yeah, and the reason they pick it first is because if you wait till after it's gone to the leach pit, it's no good.
Oh.
You know, the leach pit completely destroys
Oh, yeah.
turquoise or azurite
Well,
or anything.
acid will do that.
Yeah.
But as I understand, the first white people who came in this area were cavalry chasing Indians, and they happened to stumble across some of these minerals,
Yeah.
gem minerals partly.
Interesting. So that's fascinating that this mine was the largest copper producing mine in the world, but that the original discovery here were gemstones. I didn't know that. That's fascinating.
What we're seeing now is consolidation of a lot of the different suppliers of stones in some of the big quantities and some of the better stones. But there's always going to be an aspect of a fractured supply chain where a lot of little players make up the pool. And as long as that's the case, the colored stone market will always be much more interesting than the diamond market, because you have small players that are able to dynamically affect the market. And that's, to me, that's what is so exciting about the colored gemstone market, is because it's possible to find a steel or a parcel of raw material that's someone's been sitting on for 30 years, or it's like a treasure hunt.
Right, there's more of that I found a fortune type aspect to it.
Yeah, it's exciting. We all secretly have that kid in us when we're looking through parcels of, did I find it? It's our Indiana Jones moment of, I think I actually found this incredible parcel. So when you have these artisanal miners out there and they're hitting new materials like some of the opal we've seen in Oregon coming out, or what the guys in Montana are doing with the sapphires, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You're seeing these incredible stones get unearthed, and to me, it's such a rush, because everything is possible at that point. It seems like there's this untapped potential just below the surface and just waiting to be discovered, and that's the true adventure of it. That's why so many of us get addicted to this business, because we're always searching for that treasure, and you never want to stop, because there's always that possibility that it's just around the corner.